EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him. Well, Rich, it's been a disaster until this point, but there's an escape clause. If he can make bogey from here, that'll be some doing, something to be proud of.
We'll feel actually pretty good. Sometimes you see players walk off a hole with a little bounce in their step, even after a bogey, because they've had to work hard for it. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Just 5 feet left. So, 2 over par for the round. Checking in on the action now. Let's go down to the 6th. Frank, what have you seen in the early going from our featured golfer?
A little bit of a struggle, unsurprisingly, really. Rich, just a little messy. This wasn't to be expected. Time to sort of tighten all the screws there, have a rethink, and try and put some red numbers on the board.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
So just a formality here. That's a par. Stays at +2. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here. And that's a bogey. Frank, the par 4 8th. This is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
This is the second shot at the par 4.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And setting up here in the rough. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Locked in on the read and the speed.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. See if they can let loose with a good one here from 160 yards. Second shot. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Beginning the long climb back, now to 3 over par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.